He's just lost $50.
He's combed the chair.
Meanwhile, tomorrow at Stamford Bridge...
Oh, it's
Chelsea,
the league winners.
Chelsea against Manchester. Who would have thought this would be such a low-quality game, low-quality expectations
This is like somebody asking
going
you,
into this game.
This is like somebody asking you to go down the weekend and pay big money to watch Larry Holmes have a boxing match against Mike Tyson.
Wow, that's turning back the clock, everybody. Get on your Wikipedias. Here's Mauricio Pochettino.
I think we are Chelsea, but we need to behave like Chelsea. We need to behave like if we want to belong to a big club. It's not an excuse to be young or to be an experienced player. It's we need to behave because on the end we need to defend our badge and of course to play for our club and to perform. When we talk about potential amazing player, when we talk about the potential to be a big player, when we are talking about young, they need to realize that they need to improve so quick. It's not time to improve 1 year, 2 years, because the demand is so high from the Premier League and then from the club. You know, we cannot be an exhibition team that play football to enjoy. We need to compete, and compete is completely different. That is why I was upset or was disappointed after the Burnley game, because of course with the ball we play, we create chances. Wow, unbelievable. But after, we need to run. If we want to win, yes, we need to respect the both phases of the game. And I think if you watch the game, I think you will be agree with me. If the players are not agree with me, okay, we need to be worried, you know, because I think we have experience in football and we know what it means to play for win.
Many Chelsea fans agreeing that Burnley performance was one of the low points.
He might
of
be
the
one of the
season.
nicest guys around, and I think by all accounts he is. And clearly he's a good coach. He's having a struggle this year, but I don't think I've heard the press conference off from where I've come out and remembered one thing that he said at the end. Okay, it's maybe a language barrier thing and all that, but he just sort of spills. He's been saying the same thing since pre-season, all the way through.
I remember a press conference where I remember exactly what he said, and that was, a week ago, when he said, if you look at the stats, we'd be top 4.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, that was just the most bizarre thing.
Yeah, then they got the stats out and said, hey, actually, you would be. This is a match between two guys that give... I mean, the press conferences, both these managers, he just rumbles on, and the other one talks out his backside, doesn't he? Ten Hag. I mean, he really does, and certainly has this season. When the producer was asking us for results in this game, I was at like a wit's end to think, I don't really know, because does anybody have a clue, including the managers, what they're going to get out of their players in both these teams? And the answer is no.
Yeah.
Not a Scooby, not a clue. Chelsea could go out and play some good football, and then they could crumble, miss all these chances. United, who knows? It could be a pressing game. It could be passive as it normally is, and you know the goalkeeper could be getting pelted and making saves all over the place like he was against Brentford and other teams. Who the hell knows? And I think from Chelsea's perspective, they're at home. United have been hit defensively with some horrendous injuries. Martinez, Varane, Lindelof, Shaw, Malacia. There's a list of it. So if you can't beat this United side at home now, what chance have you got in the future? I mean, Chelsea went to Old Trafford this season, one of the poorer United sides of recent times. Although they did well last year, they've been pretty garbage this year for the most part, right? Chelsea got a pasting there. They got beat. I think they did. But they were lucky to get out. It was 28. I'm not looking at you two.
Shaka made a noise.
28 efforts in goal.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Yeah.
Man United had against Chelsea at Old Trafford. It was embarrassing. So he needs to up the game. Right? He can sit and spool on all he wants in these press conferences, Pochettino. But he's the manager. Right? He knew he had the job 3 months before the summer. He had all pre-season. He's worked with these players. Is there any evidence that anything is better, apart from the fact he keeps talking about the rage?
Yeah.
And all that sort of nonsense. The answer, if they've been better, is no.
Now let's take a look, shall we? Everyone's predictions. I think everyone has gone for quite a low-scoring tie. 1-0 says Craig, 1-1 says Shaka, Don says 2-1 United, I say 1-0 United.
We've seen the injuries.
This is true, Don, obviously the injuries, but even with those, this would be another new low. I feel like I say every week for Chelsea to lose against this depleted Manchester United side.
Yeah, the only couple of things I took from that press conference there when he was saying defend the badge, you know, that's what Chelsea used to do 10, 15 years ago. They defended the badge and they would trample all over anyone to try and win a game. They're a soft touch. The other one was stop playing like an exhibition team. That's exactly what they are. You don't know what you're gonna get. It's a gamble. You know, you can toss the coin, whatever the result's going to be. United have got loads of injuries at the back, all at the back. I was listening to Ten Hag today, and he said he's got people like Mason Mount back. He's got midfield players back. He's got wide men all back, but defenders he hasn't got many of. Chelsea are just a bad side. I mean, I've seen them so many times this season. I've seen Leeds. Leeds got beat or drew. I can't remember what it was, but I think they lost in the second half. They did. Conor Gallagher scored a late goal. And Leeds absolutely beat them up. Archie Gray, who I think 17, was playing against Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, and he walked all over them. So these are meant to be, you know, Chelsea's two best players. I've got no idea. It's one of them. Enjoy the game. There'll be a million mistakes, and someone will win it by a bit of luck.
No, you said we talked. I think yesterday maybe it was on extra time about would Pochettino be here? Yeah, it was extra time actually. The question was, would Pochettino be the manager of Chelsea next year? And I think Shaq and I both said...
I said yes.
Yes, I think we both said yes. But the more you look at it, you know, if United were to go there with a depleted side and win, and then Fulham were to go above them, can Chelsea finish, say, 13th in the Premier League? If that's where they finish at the end of this, they might not. They might climb up, finish mid-table or just above, who the hell knows. But if they do finish, say, around 12th or 13th,
yep.
Can he sit there and paint a picture to this ownership and say, this is us going forward?
And then you got Gab's booming voice saying they can't afford to sack him. Financial fair play, they're stuck with him. That's Gab.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
the voice of financial fair play.
Well, that's their problem. But all I'm saying is, how do you sell that to the punters?
Is tomorrow's game, the end result, detrimental when it comes to either manager being in charge at the start of next season?
I don't think so. I think we've seen enough of both of them. Now, the reason I
get rid of both of them.
I would, but I think there's a far greater chance that Ten Hag is not Manchester United's manager come August. Pochettino, I think, not on the job that he's done, but on the fact that Chelsea have kind of cycled through managers over the last 12 months before Pochettino, and justify that there isn't a ready-made replacement, and Gab in his booming voice suggests otherwise. But in terms of what you've seen from Chelsea, performance-wise, I cannot make an argument for Pochettino to be Chelsea's manager next season. I simply can't. And for Manchester United, while, again, they have financial fair play issues themselves, I just feel that United, despite their injuries, have regressed a lot over the last 12 months. And similarly, it's a difficult conversation or difficult to convince anybody that Ten Hag is the man to get them back on the right tracks. And as a result, I think United are more likely to change minds.
Bearing in mind, Chelsea have shown they're no different in some sense to the Abramovich era. They sacked Potter, they said they would go long term. Let's see what they do here, right? But if they sack Potter for the short-term job that he did, then you're sacking Pochettino.
Yeah.
Right? At the end of the day, the one thing Abramovich had was consistency. Whether we agree with that and it was the right way to run it...
And success.
And success. You were hired and you were fired depending on results. End of story. And he paid them and off they pop. Now, it's slightly different because of the financial restraints that you talked about. But given the form this season of both, particularly Chelsea, but obviously Man United's performances, I would get rid of them. I would get rid of them because I think there are better candidates out there that can work. And listen, particularly at Man United, right? There's all the talk about Chelsea youngsters, particularly at Manchester United. There's a lot of big heads that need to go, right? There's no doubt about that. There is a lot of waste in there that needs to go. But there's no way in the world, even with these players the way they are, that they should be playing in the manner in which they're playing against the bulk of the Premier League. And that's the problem. So that's on Ten Hag. Listen, I'm not expecting Man United to be beating Man City, Liverpool and Arsenal and winning the league at this moment in time. But I'm also not expecting him to be getting battered by all and sundry during 90 minutes of football, even at Old Trafford. That is on the manager. So I would get rid of him. And I think Ineos will get rid of him in some Jim Ratcliffe. They're not, and I've said it before, they're not spending $1.25 billion plus to sit in their hands and pussyfoot around. Right? They're not doing it. Right? So I think he probably knows, barring anything disastrous turning up and there's nobody available, he's gone.